Tonight, you are not looking for noise. You are looking for a way to gather the threads of your inner life and tie them into something you can actually use. Your mind is crowded, your spirit is willing, and your hands are reaching for a simple structure. You want guidance without surrendering your agency, clarity without losing wonder, focus without becoming rigid. Here is a candle in that hallway. Use artificial intelligence to focus your spirit, not to replace it. Let it act like a lamp beside your desk, not a voice that sits on your throne. When the day floods you with options and the night returns every unanswered question, a clear ritual turns the tide. The right words can open a door you were afraid to knock on. The promise is practical and gentle. In a few minutes, you will learn a 3-block framework you can return to every time you pray, discern, and journal. It moves from gratitude to petition to release, from values to options to consequences, and from shadow work to simple goals. Always human first, never handing final decisions to a model. You will finish with one short practice you can try before bed and a template you can adapt tomorrow morning. Before we go, plant an intention. If the promise resonates, comment present, tap like and subscribe, and stay until the end for that small practice you can do today. Your attention is your altar. Keep it lit. There is a quiet lineage behind this. Traditions across centuries speak of liminal hours, the thin veil before dawn, the way breath gathers thoughts like birds returning home. The honor the body, the mind, and the spirit, not as separate rooms, but as one house you are learning to inhabit with care. You are not broken for needing structure. You are attuned. And attunement asks for rhythm. Fear can be reframed into a calling. When uncertainty arrives, it is not a verdict against you. It is a question inviting you to respond as a steward, not a passenger. You are sensitive because you notice the wind before the leaves move. You are responsible because you choose what that noticing becomes. We begin with awareness and noticing. Before any text, box, or tool, breathe once as if you were stepping into a sanctuary. Name 3 things you are grateful for, aloud or in writing. Keep the sentences short and concrete. Let them be about a person, a provision, or a small mercy you nearly missed. Then turn to your petition. State what you need in one clear sentence, as if you were placing an item on a table. Do not justify it. Do not apologize for it. Ask with humility and precision, and allow your heart to speak in plain words your future self will recognize. Finally, release. Write a single line that acknowledges what you cannot control tonight. This is not defeat. It is obedience to reality and trust in a wider wisdom. Put a period at the end, and inhale like you are closing a drawer. These prayer prompts are not about performance. They are an open door to honest presence. Gratitude warms the ground. Petition directs the energy. Release restores your posture. When you repeat this triad, your inner life stops drifting and starts choosing. When you repeat it, your nights stop spiraling and start resolving. When you repeat it, your days stop scattering and start aligning. Next comes discernment. Begin by clarifying your values in language you can act on. Write 3 lines that define who you are becoming and what matters this week. If a value is compassion, describe one way it might look before Friday. If a value is integrity, name one boundary you will keep when pressure comes. Move to options. List 2 or 3 possible paths related to one decision on your mind. Keep the descriptions neutral and short. Do not crown a winner. You are collecting possibilities, not issuing a verdict. Now, trace consequences. For each option, note one near-horizon effect and one far-horizon effect. Near horizon means this month. Far horizon means after the noise fades. Keep the tone observational and kind. Your goal is sight, not certainty. As Jew do these, remember human first. Use the model as a mirror that returns better questions, not as a judge that replaces your conscience. Let it help you frame pros and cons without assigning your worth to either column. If you ask for a fresh angle, keep the final choice with your lived wisdom. If you receive a sentence that rings true, check it against your values before moving a single step. Then we journal. Approach the page as a friend, not a witness for the prosecution. Touch the shadow and the inner child lightly and respectfully. Name a fear in one sentence and ask where it learned its story. Offer a soft reply, like you would to someone you love. You are not trying to excavate your entire past tonight. You are offering a clean glass of water to a thirsty part of you. Add goals like lanterns, not shackles. Choose one small target for tomorrow, one medium intention for the week, and one gentle direction for the month. Keep verbs clear. Keep timelines kind. The point is movement with meaning, not pressure without soul. A journaling template that blends spiritual prompts, AI prayer language, honest discernment, and simple planning becomes a daily path rather than a rigid program. Why does this help within a spiritual frame? Because creation moves in cycles of gathering and letting go. Because gratitude turns on the lights before you ask for anything. Because release keeps your hands free for the work you are actually called to do. At dawn, the heart hears more and the mind shouts less. At night, the mind loosens and the heart speaks softly. This ritual respects both tides. Many traditions teach that the quiet hours are doors. In those doors, you meet a presence that is patient, and you remember that your identity is given before it is achieved. Breath carries prayer like a river carries boats. Stillness is not emptiness. It is a full table where noise refuses to sit. Meanwhile, a thoughtful approach to tools can support prudence. Some researchers suggest that clear questions improve reflection and reduce confusion. Journaling with simple, structured cues can help track patterns over time without turning your soul into a spreadsheet. Ethical conversations in places like Scientific American remind us that technology belongs under discernment, not above it. These are bridges, not decrees. So we old bot. We honor the mystery and we refine the method. We keep the lamp and we praise the dawn. We use guidance and we protect freedom. Human first means your conscience remains captain and your spirit remains seat of final choice. Human first means the device serves the devotion. Return now to practical guidance, detailed and doable. When you notice anxiety building, pause for a 4-line check-in. 1 gratitude line, 1 petition line, 1 release line, 1 breath counted slowly to 4. Then continue your task without rushing to interpret every feeling. Let the practice plant seeds. When you feel a decision tightening your chest, shift to values, options, consequences. Whisper your 3 values for this week. Open to options that do not punish you for being unsure. Sketch 1 near effect and 1 far effect for each path. Then walk away for 5 minutes and do something ordinary. Returning with a quieter pulse makes wisdom easier to hear. When you journal and the shadow resists, lower the stakes with kind language. Right, I notice a part of me that fears disappointment. Ask, what would help you try anyway? Promise 1 small act of care you will actually keep. The goal is safety, not a spectacle. If the inner child shows up, keep your words simple and good-humored. Invite play into tomorrow's schedule for 10 minutes. Draw a box around it and defend it like an appointment with a mentor. Your spirit learns courage when joy is permitted in daylight. As you set goals, measure weight by meaning, not by volume. Choose actions connected to your values, not tasks that just look impressive. Write them in present tense to feel the traction as you read them aloud. If you need support, let the tool suggest verbs and formats. Then decide with your wisdom whether those suggestions fit your life. Let us weave the bridge of perspectives. Many traditions view prayer as orientation and journaling as integration. Some researchers suggest that short, repeatable prompts reduce decision fatigue and make reflection less overwhelming. Thoughtful voices in public ethics encourage us to keep devices within boundaries that protect dignity and agency. None of this replaces the mystery. It creates a safe room for meeting it. When you adopt this approach, you are not denying the sacred. You are giving the sacred a steady place to land. You are not treating your heart like a machine. You're offering your heart a calendar that respects its seasons. Tools become instruments of order, not tyrants of outcome. Now thread the big idea. Again, when you give thanks, you soften the knot. When you ask clearly, you focus the arrow. When you release, you untangle what never belonged to you. When you clarify values, you calm the compass. When you name options, you widen the gate. When you trace consequences, you learn how time speaks. When you journal gently, you befriend the witness within. When you journal gently, you let courage borrow sunlight. When you journal gently, you turn tomorrow into a path instead of a cliff. This is the heart of spiritual prompts as a living practice. This is the soul of discernment made humane. Notice the contrasts that shape your day. There is dark and there is light, and both invite attention. There is noise and there is quiet, and both demand choices. There is drift and there is intent, and both grow with repetition. You are not at war with yourself. You are returning yourself to yourself. Practice asks for repetition, so tuck phrases into your pocket. Gratitude, petition, release, values, options, consequences, shadow, kindness, goal. Repeat them when the hallway feels long. Repeat them when the meeting runs late. Repeat them when your heart forgets it is allowed to ask for help. Let the first block deepen. In the morning, write 3 gratitudes before opening a screen. Keep them ordinary, like the way light touched your kitchen or a smile you almost skipped. Ask for what you need for the next 3 hours, not for the entire year. Release what belongs to that afternoon and cannot be solved at sunrise. You will feel the room open. Let the second block simplify. When choices multiply, you do not need a thunderbolt. You need a table where each option can sit for a moment. Clarify your values with current language, not lofty slogans. Choose like a gardener, not a gambler. A gardener returns tomorrow. Let the third block heal. The shadow is not an enemy. It is a messenger that knocks when the house forgets to turn on one small lamp. Offer it light, not interrogation. Offer it presence, not panic. Set goals that honor your nervous system and your calendar, and let dignity carry them forward. You may wonder how to integrate a tool without losing the human center. Keep 2 guidelines near. Use AI to prompt reflection, not to make declarations over your life. Use it to surface better questions in language that clears fog, not to outsource your authority. When a suggestion arrives, pass it through your values and through quiet. If it still rings true, proceed with a gentle step. The ethics stays simple and firm. Do not let a model tell you who you are. Do not treat data as destiny. Keep privacy as a practice, not a slogan. If you copy a prompt you find helpful, rewrite it in your own words. Your spirit hears your voice best. Your decisions deserve your fingerprints. When you sit with this ritual over time, patterns begin to emerge. The same gratitude returns in different clothes. The same request learns to say itself more honestly. The same release grows stronger legs. You begin to trust quiet results more than loud announcements. You begin to look for fruit rather than fireworks. Your discernment grows gentle and strong. You start recognizing the difference between avoidance and patience. You feel the line between impulse and conviction. Options still multiply, but the noise around them fades. Consequences read like roads, not riddles. Your yes rings clearer. Your no loses shame. Your journaling becomes a companionship. The page stops judging and starts witnessing. You move from self-accusation to self-stewardship. You do not deny flaws. You deny despair its throne. Little by little, you carry your inner child through crowded rooms with a calm hand and a bright eye. Underneath all of this is a simple faith. The sacred meets us in ordinary rooms. Clarity grows where attention is watered. Courage grows where kindness is practiced. Hope grows where release makes space. You are building a life where devotion and direction are neighbors who share a fence and borrow sugar kindly. If the day gets heavy, reset with the smallest possible loop. Gratitude, petition, release. 1 line each. If a decision stalls, return to values, options, consequences. 1 line each. If your heart aches, meet the shadow with a soft hello and give it 1 promise you can keep before dinner. Simple does not mean shallow. Simple means strong enough to repeat. Here is the micro practice you can try in less than a minute. Sit upright and place your feet flat. Inhale to 4. and think, grateful for this breath. Exhale to 4 and think, I ask for clarity. Inhale to 4 and think, I release what is not mine. Exhale to 4 and think, I walk in light. Whisper one value for today and one small action. Close with a quiet thank you and look toward your next right task. Thank you for sharing this space. If this ritual helps, tell me in the comments which line you will journal tonight and write present so I can cheer for you. Subscribe and share with someone who needs a human first way to pray, discern, and journal. And when you are ready, watch the next video in our Discernment and Journaling Template playlist to build your daily rhythm with spiritual prompts and gentle AI prayer.